My Kenyan friends, brothers and sisters, we are born, bred, and brought up in a beautiful land, blessed and anointed with much food, natural resources, breathtaking tourist attractions, bustling business hubs, brilliant minds, and beautiful people. But brothers and sisters, it is a land longing for true healing. Kenya is yearning for a day that we will all sit on one table, regardless of our tribe, regardless of our political affiliations, regardless of our social status, our height, or our weight, or our level of education, or skin color. The sons and daughters of Kenya still languish in abject poverty, disease, hunger, famine, insecurity, corruption, and intertribal conflict. But today, I want to talk about a thorn that has hurt in my flesh as I speak today, and that thorn is called land injustices. Now, going to a little story. There was a time in Kenya that our fathers lived in peace and love and unity. They borrowed cultural practices from one another. They intermarried with one another. They did trade side by side, regardless of their language barrier. But again, there came a time when there came colonization. Africans lost their right to own their rich, fertile lands. The lands were grabbed by settlers who pushed the indigenous people into reserves and forced them to work on their fields while whipping them on their backs. They paid them poorly, but still demanded what they had paid them back in form of hard tax. When we got our independence in 1963, we celebrated with much joy and happiness. We thought it was the end of colonization and the start of the long-awaited freedom. Little did we know that it was just the start of a new form of colonization that we would later call neo-colonization. The only difference was that the colonizer was no longer a white man, but the colonizer was now a fellow black man. Those who took the whims of power started to oppress their fellow African men. Brothers and sisters, it is better to be oppressed by a stranger than to be oppressed by a brother. The rich people who are in powerful positions later reclaimed the rich fertile lands from the settlers, but they were not given back to the poor African owners who had them before colonization. Instead, those who were powerful used their position and took more than they could have ever had. In fact, they took more than they ever needed. Then we added a new word into the Kenyan dictionary of problems. The word is squatters. Today, land is still a source of hate and prejudice among Kenyans. The Kalenjins blame the Kikuyus for invading their land, but little do they know that the Kikuyus did not actually invade their land, but they were homeless and did not have a place to stay because their land had been grabbed by the rich and the powerful. The issue of land can only be solved by those who grabbed that land returning it to their rightful owners. Let what belongs to Caesar be given back to Caesar. Kenya will only heal if the Kenyatta family can return the large tracts and thousands of acres of land that they own in Uasin Gishu Central Province and Lamu back to the people who owned them, who are now squatters and homeless. Kenya will only heal If people like the Honorable Mark Tor, who was a powerful MP during those times, can return the land that was illegally allocated to him by the high and the mighty. Fellow brothers and sisters, let us not allow the sins of our fathers befall us. Let us not kill each other because of the mistakes and the differences of our fathers that were done many years ago. I have learned that I am not my father's tribe. I am his pride. The Republic of Tanzania has over 100 indigenous tribes, but they do not have tribalism, because their father Nyerere did not grab his son's inheritance. Instead, he taught them how to love one another and to live as brothers and sisters. As long as we are alive, we are one Kenya, one nation. Peace, love, and unity will reign forever. The difference starts with you. The difference starts with me. We, the youth, are not the leaders of tomorrow. We are the leaders of today. God bless my land, Kenya. God bless you too.